Bum 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 ba 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 bum ba 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 bum. Hi again, everybody. We're back for another drum lessons with Mr. Rickman. Let's get started. We have a grade 1 piece for us to play with today. It is called Seine. Seine. Reason for that title is this is kind of a traditional French waltz, jazz waltz kind of feel, and the river that flows through Paris is called the River Seine. Seine. Hilarious. Anyway, waltz. That's the magic word that I just mentioned. If you look at the very start of the piece right here, that's a little bit bright. If you look at the very start of the piece right here, you will see its time signature, which is a 3 above a 4. The top number is the important one, right? So the 3 tells us there are going to be 3 beats in every bar. So you're going to be feeling this music as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 3 beats per bar. And the traditional dance people do is called the waltz. If you watch Strictly on the telly, then you will maybe know what I'm talking about. Now, what do we need to know to play this piece? Good news. Even though we're counting 3 beats per bar, which is a kind of odd number, unusual number, the rhythms we have to know are very, very basic. Okay, there's not even any semiquavers in this. The quickest thing you have to play is T's and coffees, and that's it. So, there are a couple of coffees in this piece which are very obvious. If you see this one here, that's a pretty obvious coffee. There's a pretty obvious couple of coffees in the bottom line here. But beware, my friends, because when you see this note followed by this note, they look like they're written separate, but that is in fact going to be played as 2 quavers, as a coffee. 1, 2, and 3. Tea, coffee, tea. As usual, the people who wrote this have tried their usual trick. They have written the cymbals with the stems going up and the drums with the stems going down, so they don't always interact with each other beautifully. So in this second bar here, first beat, just 1 note, 1 beat, 1 crotchet, that's all that's going on. On beat number 2, the drums are doing a rest and then a quaver. 1, sh, and 3. 1, sh, and 3. Now what actually ends up happening, you put a cymbal where that rest is, so you end up playing 1, 2, and 3. So if I start saying tea, coffee, tea, you will understand that this is a coffee, it's a pair of quavers. Effectively, it's a pair of quavers. Now, we can get through most of the first 2 lines extremely easily. Let's look at bar number 1, right at the top left here. First 3 notes you have to do. We are on the ride cymbal. There will be no hi-hats getting played with your stick in this piece. We're on the ride cymbal. The first one has a bass drum with it, and the next 2 have snares with them. So put that together and you get right side, both hands, both hands. And that's your very most basic waltz beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right side, both hands, both hands. Bass, snare, snare. Easy peasy. And that 1 bar happens again and again throughout the piece, so good. The second bar moving along, we start with a cymbal and a bass again. Then we have our sneaky coffee, the cymbal followed by the snare. And then we finish with another cymbal and snare, both hands. So if we put the whole second bar together, we get 1, 2, and 3. So before we go any further, let's take the first half of the top line all the way to the middle there. Just the first 2 bars, and we'll try and loop those round a few times to get used to it, okay? After 3, 1, 2, 3. Again. 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 Easy peasy. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now, as luck would have it, the rest of the top line is just a repeat of that first half. So we already know the whole top line. Moving on down, second line. Again, we are just mixing basses and ride cymbals and snares, and the rhythm remains very simple. So read the second line along with me. We've got a right side, then a snare, then another right side. After that we do it again. Then a very standard, and we end the second line with a run up the toms from low to middle to high. So very slowly, let's try and put the whole second line together. After 3, very slowly, 1, 2, 3. Very straightforward. Now we're halfway through section A here, so let's just power through and learn all of section A before we try and put anything bigger together. The third line on your page, right down there. Going to start with a bass drum and a crash. That's our first crash of the whole piece. So boosh. Then back to ride to continue the bass drum and snare drum action. And now we're basically repeating the top line. You will recognise it. It's the same apart from the crash. Here's the third line. It's the same as the first line, but with a crash. 1, 2, 3. Standard, pretty standard. If you can do the first line, you can do the third line. Moving on to the fourth line. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're almost copying the second line. Again, just basses and snares and cymbals. Read with me along the fourth line here. 1, 2, 3. Here's a big long crash. Then 2 rests, and our last bit of rhythm in section A goes tea, coffee, tea. Can you tell me what drums we need for this tea, coffee, tea? I'll give you 5 seconds to think about it. It is high tom, then 2 middles, and a low. Simple as that. So let's put the fourth line together in one go. Then we're going to try all of section A. Here comes the fourth line. Nice and slow after 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. Okay. So do you see how we've got halfway down this page? We've only had to deal with teas and coffees, and 90% of it has just been ride cymbal, snare, and bass. What I will do now is put all of section A together in one go. I'll do it first of all slow, then full speed. Not 116. That is full speed. Let's do this at like 80 first of all. And I have to make it do only 3 beats per bar. Press the buttons. There's our 3 count. And we'll try and put all of section A together at this speed. It may take you a couple of tries, but that's the way it goes. Let's do all of section A. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Second line. Toms. Third line. Fourth line. Two, three. Bingo. There it is. As usual, as with all my videos, please rewind and do that again if you need to. Go back and revisit it as many times as you need. If you just want to shut me up and pause me altogether and try a line or two at a time, please do. I'm just here to show you how it goes. Right, now before we move on to any section B, I will show you section A one more time, this time at full speed. Boom, tap, tap, boom, chicka, boom, tap, tap. So when you get super good at the slower version, here's a challenge. The full speed version of section A. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Have it, my friends. Okay, so if you've got this far in the video, congratulations. You may want to pause there and revisit the remainder of the lesson a different time. You may want to just completely ignore the rest of this video until you have section A happy. Don't worry if you don't get it at full speed. Any success is valuable. But when you are ready, here's me showing you section B. Section B, what's new? Well, first of all of section A is supposed to be played MP. See our little dynamic instruction there? MP, medium quiet. The posh words are mezzo piano. So I was playing that fairly gently. At the very end of section A, where we did our last run round the toms, we have this little 2 lines growing apart from each other. That is of course a crescendo. That's us getting gradually louder and building to dun, da, 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 MF, mezzo forte, medium loud to you and me. So section A is all medium quiet, section B is all medium loud. That's a small change, we're not too worried about that. It looks like we have one new ingredient to deal with here, which is under the bottom line we may see a little X. Now you know what X's mean, right? X's mean symbols. But riddle me this, why is there a symbol at the bottom? Symbols live at the top, right? Why is there a symbol at the bottom? Because it is your left foot on the hi-hat, which is the 2 symbols that clap together like that. So if you see an X in the bottom space, under the bottom space, pardon me, that's your left foot coming down. It doesn't add a huge sound. It just gives a little extra flavour. So watch out for that. Right, let's go through the first line of section B. I can't see it on the camera. Somewhere down there. It's got a B next to it. You know where it is. Section B, still on the ride cymbal. Still a ride cymbal on every beat. First one comes with a bass drum. Next one comes with a left foot, which is weird feeling if you're not used to it. And the third one comes with a snare. So first 3 beats of section B, all have a cymbal. First one's got a bass, next one's got a left foot, next one's got a snare. Now before we go any further, let's make friends with that. The first three notes in letter B. Bass and cymbal, cymbal and left foot, cymbal and snare. I'm going to do those round and round a few times. Tap along with me. After 1, 2, 3. Again. 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 Keep going. Just a slight change, nothing too crazy going on there. The next bar of B is the same as the second bar of A. We've played this before. Second bar of B goes, and just like section A, the rest of this line is the same as the first half, repeated. So, we should have all the knowledge we need to attempt the first line of B. Here it comes. Do it with me, slowly, after 3. Watch out for those left feet. 1, 2, 3. Now, I've just realised something good. The next line of B is largely the same. I'm just going to dive in and play the second line of B. 3 lines from the bottom. We are creeping up on being finished here. From bar 21. After 3, 1, 2, 3. So we ended with the same little run up the toms, which we saw here. Again, it's happening here. This was the line we just played. Now the third bar in this line, it's new, we haven't seen it before, but it's super easy. Bass drum with a right cymbal, and then left foot with a snare twice. Right side is what that is. Okay, moving on. Second line from the bottom is the same as the first line of B. So I'm not even going to bother doing it. You already know it. It's the same as the first line of B. Last line. Will there be any terrifying twists in the last line here? No. You don't need any help working out what this is, but I'll tell you anyway. The bottom line goes, cymbal and bass. Cymbal and snare with the left foot, twice. Do those 3 again. Then you have 1 more bass and right cymbal. Then we're going to go coffee, coffee, tea. Snare, high, mid, low, crash. So that very ending looks quite complicated, but we now know it's just hit each drum 1 time and then hit your crash at the end with the bass drum. Okay, here's me doing the whole bottom line. Slowly after 3. 1, 2, 3. And there you have it. We've explored it all. And there wasn't too much difficult thinking to do. And that's a whole grade 1 piece right there. Now, if this is your first time watching this video, you probably won't be ready to do this next bit. You may have to do a little practice before you're ready to move on. First of all, I'm going to do all of section B, slowly, then at full speed. Then I'm going to play the whole thing, slowly, then at full speed. Use that footage to help whichever stage you're at. If you're not ready for it yet, don't worry about it yet. Go back and strengthen the earlier stuff, pardon me. Anyway, here's B, first of all, slowly. Watch out for those tricky left feet. B, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Next line. Next line. Last line. There you have it. Right, as always, rewind and do that more if you need to, but when you're ready, here's all of B at full speed, 116 beats per minute. Now I bet when you first try this, you'll miss out some of those left feet. Maybe I will as well. Let's find out together. Section B, full speed, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Once you can keep up with that, might take you a few tries, but once you can keep up with that, then think about the entire piece. Now this isn't one of those pieces where the first section and the second section are really different and require lots of different practice. Section A is just an easier section B. So, final 2 things of the lesson. Number 1, I'm going to play the entire thing at 80 beats per minute. And then full speed. So here comes the entire thing from top to bottom at the slow speed. Good luck, everybody. Remember, section A, a little softer than section B, but not a huge difference. After 3, my friends, 1, 2, 3. B. Last line. Nice. Okay. I don't know about you, but when section B happened, I nearly forgot that I had to get my left foot ready. But I remembered just in the nick of time. So, final stage. This is the last thing we're going to do. We're going to play the entire thing from top to bottom at full speed. I've even got us a little piece of music to play along to, which goes... Anyway, let's get this started. When you're ready, and not before, here is the entire thing from top to bottom. At full speed, with everything in, fingers crossed, I hope we get everything in. Otherwise, I'm going to look silly. Right. The music here is going to count us in 2 bars. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then we're in. You've been warned. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there you have it. There you have it. A whole grade 1 piece explored in 20 something minutes. Okay, final thoughts before I let you go. Maybe you found it very strange playing a piece with 3 beats per bar. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because goodness knows everyone starts by learning how to play 4 beats per bar. So 3s can feel weird. If that's the case, stick with just the top line only until you're very comfortable with it. As always, do not push your speed before you're properly ready. That will be pointless. There you go. I've run out of thoughts. Those are my complete thoughts for this piece. As always, remember the golden rules. Practice slowly, practice the right amount, bit by bit, and be patient. And if it takes you a long time to get to the finished result, that's okay. Any progress is good progress. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching and listening. Enjoy practicing in Seine, and we will see you next time. Thank you very much.